the 14th of May 2017, here in Champions Royal Assembly, God's servant, Brother Joshua Iginla, in a live service, gave a word of prophecy to a specific nation in Africa. According to his words, one of the African countries needs to pray against military intervention. Listen to his exact words.
One of the African country need to pray against military intervention. One of the African country. I don't want to narrow it ABC. I don't want to say North Africa, East Africa, South Africa, West Africa. No. I just want to use the word one of the African country should pray against military intervention so that their democracy should not be truncated. I repeat it again. One of the African country. I said I don't want to say North Africa, East Africa, South Africa, or West Africa. I just want to leave it as an Africa should pray that their democracy should not be truncated. I leave it that way.
Brother Joshua Iginla repeated this prophecy again on the 2nd of July 2017. According to his words, a specific African country should pray against military intervention. Listen to his exact words.
I spoke last time about a specific country that they should pray in Africa against military intervention. And I'm still repeating it. I've said it now. This is the third time. And this is the third time. I've said it first. Second, I see military intervention. I don't know in what way they are intervening. This country have to pray so that they don't go back to where they are coming from. So I see military intervention. What are they intervening for? It's between God and the future. That's why we should pray.
In confirmation of the prophecy, on the 14th of November 2017, military seized power in Zimbabwe and placed President Robert Mugabe under house arrest.
On November 14, 2017, Zimbabwe military troops drove tanks into the capital city, Harare.
Military police in a tank. This is happening in Harare. Wow, it's real, guys. It is real.
They patrolled the streets, blocked access to government buildings, and took over the state television station to insist
that this is not a military takeover of government.
But it clearly was. Troops invaded the presidential palace and put the president, Robert Mugabe, in custody.
Comrade R.G. Mugabe and his family are safe and sound, and their security is guaranteed.
When you hear that a military coup has happened, it's common to assume that the result is a transfer of power. But in this case, it's very clear there is no revolution. It's merely an internal fight among the country's elites. Zimbabwe is one of the most corrupt countries in the world, and what we're seeing is a fight to keep it that way.
As soon as we have accomplished our mission, we expect that the situation will return to normalcy.
A developing news story in Zimbabwe at the moment, where thousands of people are flooding the streets of the capital, Harare. They are demanding the resignation of President Robert Mugabe. Soldiers have cheered the crowds, and that's confirmed the army's role in bringing Mr. Mugabe's 37-year rule to an end. As numbers on the streets have swelled throughout the morning, state media have said that 8 out of 10 regional branches of the governing ZANU-PF party have passed a vote of no confidence in the president. Mr. Mugabe has been under house arrest since a military takeover 4 days ago.
Basically, we are Zimbabweans. We're saying to our army, thank you very much for the peaceful intervention, and it's time for the masses of Zimbabwe to say Mugabe must go, and he must go like yesterday. We can't wait to see his back.
For us,
It's about a new beginning. For us, it's about the end of a tyranny rule. And we are going to take our Zimbabwe back.
As you can see, people are flooding in from all parts of Harare into the city centre. There's an incredible atmosphere of excitement, of anticipation. Now is the moment they sense Robert Mugabe is gone. His age is over. They're no longer afraid. That's why they're here on the streets.
Note these words in the prophecy: military intervention.
Military intervention. Military intervention.
They patrolled the streets, blocked access to government buildings, and took over the state television station to insist
that this is not a military takeover of government.
But it clearly was. Troops invaded the presidential palace and put the president, Robert Mugabe, in custody.
Comrade R.G. Mugabe and his family are safe and sound, and their security is guaranteed.
When you hear that a military coup has happened, it's common to assume that the result is a transfer of power. But in this case, it's very clear there is no revolution. It's merely an internal fight among the country's elites.
How do you know a true prophet? When he speaks and it comes to pass.